Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So I took a look at most of the hair, and I think it's still looking good. But when I really looked at the side of her face here, just right over there, it's like, I'm not so sure about that. So I figure I should take a second to take another look at that. Look, someday, the head shape will be the way I want it to be. And I'll go back and look at it and I'll be like, yes, this is perfect. But right now I'm not so sure. That day, not today. But I don't think I have to do that much to fix it. Yep, I think that's fine. Cool. So let's go ahead and fix the headline and all of these other things here. And I'll probably have to fix the shadows a little bit. But again, I did not move it that much, so not too much trouble here. And then I will go ahead and reflect it onto the other side. And fix up the shadows on this side, too. So there we go. This was just a tiny diversion. Just a tiny one. Now we can go right back into hair. Okay. Yeah, seems pretty okay. I don't feel like things are bouncing around that much. There's still something about the downward turns that I'm still not entirely sure about. It might just be the mouth. Well, here we are. I said that was an okay tiny diversion, but, well, I can't help myself, so here we are. Gonna be slightly more diversion-y. Autosave just coming to help me out a bit. Okay, that seems okay, so let's go ahead and move it over. Oh, that one was already at 18. Okay. Let me see, with that change, do I have to move the chin down at all? That is what I'm deciding right now. I don't think I have to move it down, but I do think I have it a little bit too tucked in on the sides there, just in this view. So I'm just gonna very carefully make her cheeks slightly more plump here. Oh god. I really wish we could adjust things to be a little bit more symmetrical, but that is not a feature in the current version. Okay. It's okay, I got this. I did it once, I can do it again. I might have to focus a little bit, though, so I do apologize if I get a little bit quiet, because, oh gosh, doing this is always a little bit terrifying. So all I can really do is flip it over to the other side and try to correct things this way. the Inochi2D equivalent of flip horizontal. See, when I shape the jawline over on the other angles, I don't really have to worry about it being symmetrical. But here, oh gosh. It's like she's just supposed to be looking straight down. So her head should be fairly symmetrical. Okay, let's flip it back around. All I'm doing to do those flips is with not arming a parameter. I just set the scale back and forth between 1 and -1. And that will flip it horizontally. I do think that looks better. But oh boy. Okay, I don't think things are looking too asymmetrical either. Hopefully passable. Unfortunately, the mesh is not very symmetrical, so... Wow. What is the command for redo? Control-Shift-C, okay. Yeah, other than it just being somewhat crunchy looking, I think things are pretty okay. So this is a case where I'm just using the keyboard shortcuts, Control-Z and Control-Shift-Z, to undo and redo. I'm gonna hide the hair for a second. We're going full bald here. Because, yeah, I saw a little bit of asymmetry right over here, but it was hard to see with all the hair in the way. Okay. So I'm gonna go fix a couple of those spots that I am not completely happy with. And then I will go and start making everything nice and smooth. It'll be wonderful. Okay, so now I can go through and start making it a little bit smoother. I guess before I go too deep into smoothing, I want to double check the symmetry again. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. Alright, so now I'm just going through and pulling on the vertices to try to get the edge of her face here a little bit smoother. For the most part, it's okay. There's just a couple little spots that look a little bit crunchy to me. Yeah, right here is being a little bit strange, but no, I think I got it. Okay. A case where I think the mesh was just not entirely, straight there. Where I had the line of vertices a little bit crooked. Yeah, so now I'll just go straighten these out here, and then we'll go back to hair for real. Maybe. Or maybe as I swing her head around some more, I'll find something else that I don't like, and I'll fix that instead. Who knows? It's always a mystery. Okay. But I think that should look pretty okay. Still spot with the jaw here. If this was anything besides the head, I may not care as much, but... Look. Cannot have a lumpy jawline. That would just be terrible. Absolutely terrible. Man, that spot just really wants to stay really lumpy. How very rude of it. Okay, and it's okay. I'm pretty sure I can work out those lumps. I'm just gonna treat it like rolling dough. Or sometimes you just gotta knead it for a while, and then eventually all the lumpy spots will go away. Maybe stick it in a blender. Get a nice smoothie. Nice jawline puree. Yeah, I think this is just a case of... I placed a couple of the vertices a little bit crooked. Yeah, you can see in the original here. Whoop, whoop. So here I was, trying to line up the vertices so that they were straight, when it turns out they were never straight to begin with. That does make my life a little bit harder in some areas, though, so here we go. Again, I just really do not want any crunchiness or weirdness in her jaw here. This side looks so nice. Why can't this side be more like this side? I swear, little vertices, you'll be so much happier if you just look more like the other side. Where everything is nice and smooth and pretty. Okay, I was making sure that I had it facing the right direction there, and I do. All is well. Just all is also lumpy, so maybe not all as well. Alright. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now we're not looking quite so lumpy. Which means it is time to put the lines and shadows back on. No, also the hair, I guess. Hair would be good too. In fact, I think I'll do the hair first. There we go. No longer super bald. Alright, I don't actually think I have to adjust very much of the head shadows. Didn't actually move her chin that much. Just made it a little bit less skinny. And actually, right here, that doesn't look super good. So I guess I still got a little bit more stuff to smooth out right through here. You know, saying the left side should have been more like this side is coming back to bite me now, I suppose. Since this side was just a little bit off in a little bit more of a subtle way. Tends to be how it goes. There we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now that's a little bit smoother. Autosave is trying to help me out, I think. Alright. I never did restart the program yesterday after it was feeling a little bit stuttery. So maybe I should actually do that today. Let her swing her head around a bit. See if things are still feeling a little bit gummed up like I was kind of feeling before. But no, that doesn't really happen until I have her start looking upward. Let her do a little bit of head banging while I see if everything is working out. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite happy with this part yet. I'm gonna pull those little cheeks out a little bit more. I just keep being worried that her head is just gonna look fat. But right now, I think I just overdid it in trying to avoid that. Her head isn't turning quite far enough for it to be that thin. Because, yeah, when your head starts turning really far, the edge of the mouth and the edge of the face get pretty close together. But I'm not actually turning her head that far, so it doesn't make sense to be thinking in those terms. Okay. This seems okay. I'll turn on both of them. And now I pull this back over to the edge. Just so there's just a little gentle shadow over there. Barely noticeable. I swear lately the first half of my streams have just been, oh yeah, I noticed this random thing here. I want to make it better. That's okay. I think that's the way it should be. Everything will look nice if I just try hard enough. I think it's a good way to look at it. Now that I look at it, there's something kind of weird happening with her lower lip, isn't there? Did I not properly mirror something over here? Let me find all the mouth nodes. Mouth stuff will be down here. I did see something move a little bit, so maybe that fixed it. Not quite, huh? Yeah, I assume that I'm just trying to do something to make the mouth go to the side a little bit more, and it's not working on this angle for some reason, the same way that it was the other one, so I just need to kind of adjust it a little bit. I'm not sure why it's not symmetrical, but here we are. Don't want her to be looking pouty when she moves down. That would be a bit silly. But that does seem to be the case right now. Yeah, definitely looking a little bit pouty. Alright, let's look closely at what is causing that. And why is it not over here? Is it just a trick of the light with the shadows? It tells me that it probably is over here, but indeed, it's just because this corner is darker, whereas this corner is in the light, that I didn't see it. Okay, that makes sense. So let's make her look a little bit less pouty. And I'll also fix the chin shadow here. And if that works out, then I'll copy it to the other side. Almost, I think. Alright, that's looking a little bit better now. So let's finish up with the chin shadow here. And I will copy... I won't copy the chin shadow over, but I will copy this over. There we go. Looking a little bit less pouty when she looks down now. Okay. So, back to hair for real, I think. Let's see here. Last time I was setting up this area down here. And I didn't want to go clean it up. I don't blame myself. It's a little bit of a mess. I think things are mostly looking alright, though. So today's just mostly going to be a day of making it clean and nice. Okay, so for the most part I do think that this looks good, but it will require a lot of cleaning up here, and I think I'm gonna have to pull some shenanigans in order to get that cleaned up. Because the way that this wants to move and the way that this wants to move are kind of contradictory, and unfortunately they are moved and controlled by the same couple of vertices. So I'm going to go focus on this outer line first, just because I do think that will be easier to manage. Okay, so I'm just trying to line this outer one up perfectly before I start worrying about the other side, just because I think it's going to be perhaps a little bit of a nightmare. Things I have learned in meshing. Although, if I'm being honest, I'm not actually sure if I could make this mesh work sanely. It might be the kind of thing where it just made more sense to put them on different layers. Tends to be how it goes, huh? Of just, if something's not moving right, and it's hard to move it around relative to other things, that's a good sign that perhaps it just belonged on a different layer. I'm not sure how I would have cut this differently, though. Next time I decide to rig a Path to Nowhere character because I think the art is pretty, I might need to look up some more techniques on cutting. Because most of the art that I see for Live2D models is far, far simpler than this. For good reason. Doing something this detailed and with this many little color changes and all that stuff complicates the process considerably. That is perhaps an understatement. But it is the best way I can put it. It definitely makes things more complicated than they need to be. But the art in this game is so nice. I can't help myself. Alright, mission do one shadow area at a time is going pretty well. But it's not quite lining up at the bottom, so I'm deciding if I need to change the bottom or the lower right. And I do think it is the lower right that needs to change. I'm gonna hide the side bang for a second here. Just because I do feel like the part that needs to change most is actually the part underneath the bangs. And I think getting that into place will actually help me line up this strand well. Okay, so part of it is basic vertex shifting, and that's easy to fix with just consulting the mesh here. So that is at least straightforward. And once I get some of those vertices into a little bit of a better spot, that kind of shifting should stop, and I don't think it will really affect how it looks relative to the right turn here. I think that'll all be fine. Okay. Now I can just carry on with the edits to the top part that I wanted to make. The part that was hidden by the bangs. I don't really feel the need to make it perfect. It's... You see, even though I know that the bang is going to be twitching somewhat due to physics later, I know that this part will 100% be covered up all the time, because if it's not, well, it's just gonna look like a mutant floating piece of hair, and that's no good at all. So, I know that this part will always be covered. So I'm not too worried about getting it to look right all the way up. Just enough. Enough that there's no weirdness. Alright, I'm actually gonna turn the side bang back on here. Alright. Do need to turn that off again. I moved it a little bit too far, but I do have it lined up with the lower head turn now. So that is good. And that is progress. So this time I'm just going to check to make sure I have the right kind of angles here. Okay, still needs to go a little bit further to the side. And once again, I'm not worried about these dark shapes over there just yet. Doing one thing at a time here. Gotta figure out that, and then I'll worry about syncing them up properly, because that does not seem like it's going to be easy. So trying to do all that at once, a little bit overwhelming. But one at a time, I can do that. Alright, looking good. Now I can move on to this little forked shadow here. Now that I know that this is in a pretty good spot, I'm going to try to avoid moving these couple of vertices too much. I'm going to see how much I can do with just moving these ones. Because I bet I can do a fair amount. Yes, indeed. I'm pretty sure I can. That's why I started on the edge. Because I figured that once I had this kind of edge area done, that these that also control this area would be in the right place. So I could just focus on moving this area relative to these areas that I already think are pretty correct. That's kind of how I think about it, at least. Probably making it look like I'm doing more thinking than I actually am, but no, not so much. I just gotta pick a direction, and I just kind of go for the direction that I think will lead me to victory as soon as I can. Okay, looking pretty good. Once again, I think I have to hide the side bang there. Okay, I think I know what to do. Had to think about that for a second. See, now that required thinking. But I think I have this turning the wrong direction. And that's why it looks a little bit weird. I think it's an issue up here too. So let's go ahead and fix it here as well. Alright, I think this is pretty close. I'm just not quite satisfied with where they connect here on this forked shadow. So I need to figure out how that's gonna work. I don't know. I can definitely tell that I did my best with the mesh, but oh man, is it a little bit hard to move around sometimes. How is that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Alright, just one last area, and I think it's already pretty much good. That'll be it for the over-the-shoulder hair. And I can go back to doing strands like I thought I was going to, yesterday. Before I realized, oh wait, I forgot the over-the-shoulder hair again. Happens a lot. I just get so focused on the hair around her head that I just forget that there's hair on her body, too. Okay, I'm gonna hide the side bang again, because I'm not sure if I like the way it's moving along the diagonal here. Yeah. Even though it is partially covered by the side bang there, there's some movement in between the two keyframes where it is not covered by the side bang, and I thought that it was moving poorly in that area. So I still need to adjust these areas, even though they're technically covered up. This isn't even about hair physics. This is just basic movement. Alright, and I still want to keep the side bangs on while I'm moving it around. Because this is strictly about how it looks while it's moving here. Yeah, still just a little something down here. Still not quite there. It's okay, I get closer with every little tweak, so I should get there soon. I just always want to be very, very careful moving the vertices that also control some of the other shadows. So I was taking care to do that last, make sure that I had everything else the way I wanted it, see if I had to move that vertex at all. Okay, the problem that I'm having with the lower right is also in the right. So let's go ahead and fix it there too. There's just a tiny bit of crunchiness in that little shadow over there. Ever so small bit of crunchiness. But now that I have it right on the right head turn, I should be able to much more easily get it right in the lower right. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. So, on the home stretch here, gotta fix some of the little strands that kind of make up the structure of this over-the-shoulder hair. So I kind of felt like the highlight on this little strand here was getting stuck. Which tells me I'm not moving it down quite enough. Yeah, that's better. And now I have to adjust the hair above it to compensate, because now you can see there's a little hole right there where you can see her skin, and well, that just doesn't make sense with this kind of shape. So I gotta push it down to cover all that up again. There should not be any random holes here. Okay. I wanted to do that before I really went in and worked on the lower right, because I know that I'm going to be trying to line these areas up. And if that area was off, well, that would just mean that my lower right would also be off. Okay. I think we're good. Fortunately, I think that this strand is in a pretty good spot already. I just need to kind of straighten it out a bit. It's just a bit crunchy. So all I think I really have to do is get it nice and smooth and pretty. Then all will be well. Okay. So things are pretty smooth. So let's go test it up against all the other angles. Okay, I still need to fix the tip of that area, but other than that... Okay, there's a spot in the middle that doesn't look like it's going down properly. But I think that is also related to the fact that I do not have this properly connecting to this strand here. So let's do that first. And then I will adjust the strand sitting on top of that clump accordingly. Okay. I am satisfied with how the clump is moving, so now I just got to adjust the strand accordingly, exactly as I said. There we go. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good. And indeed, I think that's the case for all of her over-the-shoulder hair. I think that's really the only spot that needed fixing. Alright. So that means it is time to get comfortable. Okay. Now that I'm comfortable, it is strand time. So I remember I poked around a little bit with this strand, but then I was like, man, I cannot get it shaped right. I'm gonna do it later. I guess it is now later. So time to do this. I'm just really excited because I feel like, oh man, the strands on the final angle. I call it the final, like I'm not gonna go touch up my upward turns, but still. It's just almost there. I finally almost done with the head turns. After an eternity. After an eternity, I will finally be able to do some physics. I had been looking forward to it for so long, and the time has almost come. I'm so excited. Today is a good day. Truly. Okay, so now I'm looking at the base of this strand here, and it's not, yeah, not quite moving right. So I'm trying to figure out where everything has gone wrong, and I do think it is on the lower right. Just need to push it over a little bit. Okay, that's much better. Okay. So I think at this point I can just kind of clean up that strand. Maybe not quite, but close. Close. Just got to get those last couple of little angles right. Okay. I think that should be pretty good. So now I'll just go ahead and clean it all up. And then I can move on to the next strand. I've already gotten a couple of them done, just because I happened to never turn them off while I was working on the left side of her head there. So I have even less to do than usual. It's a very exciting day. Okay, and I just noticed that there's a little spot at the top that I didn't think was as smooth as it could be. Okay. I think that looks pretty okay, so let's see if everything is still lining up properly. Right here, actually. The tip actually isn't. It is moving to the left, even though her head is moving to the right, and that's just complete nonsense, so let's go ahead and fix that. Still got a little bit more. Okay, well, I can see why I had it like that. So that tells me that, yes, it's doing that on the right head turn too, and I never noticed. That explains why I never noticed it on the lower right. 'Cause I just had it wrong all the way up here. Oh dear. Okay. That's alright, I'll fix it now. Alright, that's much better. And then I think I actually want to do a couple of touch-ups here and there. Try to make it a little bit more consistent looking here. And I guess I'll have to fix it down here too. But that's very doable. I did not adjust very much. I just made the strand just a tad shorter. Just a tad. A little bit more here. can see I'm being very, very careful with it because I don't want to move it too much. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Now then, I noticed that like right here got a little bit crooked and all that. So I want to touch that up too. There we go. It's okay, just got a little bit crooked. Just a teeny tiny bit. Easy enough to fix. Okay, let's do the next one. Right here. Yep, I moved the side bangs quite a lot, so they're both just completely wrong here. But if I have the top and the bottom in about the right place, here still, I could just scooch it over. Let me see if I do. Mostly. But I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work to fix this up. Just because I really did move those side bangs around quite a lot. I want to get this curve nice and smooth too. Make it look very pretty. There we go. Let's test that out. A little bit... It's connecting a little bit too low. So I'll go ahead and just push it up a little bit. Grab a nice big brush, and go, whoop, up just a little bit. And then it feels like it gets a little bit too thin just right through there, so I'll go ahead and try to thicken it out just a bit there. Make the strand just a little bit fatter. And then the way it's connecting at the bottom is a little bit off. So I'll go ahead and adjust accordingly. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. And indeed, by doing it there first, it basically solved it for me on the lower right. So I think that looks pretty okay. Next one. Okay, so now we got that one back there. I think it's actually completely covered at this angle. Okay, so we're good. Because it just gets covered up, so next one. Little strand up on the connecting hair. I never knew what to do with this strand, so I'm gonna call that good. Okay, over here. This one's looking pretty crunchy. It's actually looking a little bit crunchy on the right turn too. So I'll go ahead and fix it there first. Strand time is honestly always a little bit of fun. Just because everything goes so quickly. I get to jump from one thing to the next. In the blink of an eye, just because everything comes together pretty fast. It's always nice to save some easy stuff for the end, so it just feels like boom, boom, boom. Like all is right with the world. Okay. Just carefully aligning all of this. Since I apparently did not do that carefully enough last time. So I'm just gonna take my time. There we go. Let's see how that does. I think I actually want the side here to drop a little bit. Where is it? Right there. Okay. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good, and indeed, I think the interpolation got it pretty good here. I do want to clean up the lower turn just a little bit here. I think for the most part it looks fine, but there was just a little crunchy spot, and I'm like, nah, we don't need to leave that there. There we go. That's why I said it was just a minor thing, but if it doesn't have to be there, why leave it? All right. Just gonna move around. Yay! Okay. So now here. Okay, so this one's coming out quite a lot. So let's go ahead and just push it back over. That might actually be enough. But it actually is not. Okay, in that case, if I'm gonna have to fix that hairbang side loop, I'm gonna find this thing here, and I'm going to hairbang side, nope, other side. Hairbang side loop. There it is. Alright, we're gonna... Oh! I had set it somewhere. Oh, because I was on... No, we want it set there. I was on the wrong angle. I wanted to unset it here. Okay. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and unset it there, so this way when I fix things on the lower turn here, that it'll carry over to the bottom right. So I think this got put a little bit too low. Yes, that's much better. So now I guess I'll be checking this little loop and all the angles. It worked out that way. There it is. Okay. It's having a little bit of trouble finding it. Ah, so it's even kind of still messed up even though I had it unset. Okay. In that case, I have to look at this a little bit more closely. It's alright, I'll get it. I feel like the highlight on this got pushed out a little bit, so first thing I want to do is push it back up to where I think it belongs. Alright, I think that's pretty okay. So now I just got to look down here. I'm not sure what about the interpolation is making it want to move like that. But, it's not right, so I guess I just have to carefully put it back. Let's see here. Oh, that's fine. I can do that. Okay, I think that's fine. It's just a tiny little bit of hair. So now back to over here, which I also feel like is sticking out a little bit too much on the top. Yeah, okay, so I think that's good. We got just a couple more. Okay, and I'm gonna have to adjust this one just a little bit. And the top of it as well. It's supposed to kind of connect to the very tip of that there. So like that. If anything, I should probably curve it out a little bit more this way. There we go. It's going to be an in theory kind of thing, so definitely going to want to test that out a lot. Oh yeah, and I also moved the downward turn quite a lot, so I'll need to reattach this properly here. It's like I wanted to go until I finished all the strands just because I was so close. But now I'm starting to get hungry. So my brain is like, okay, we're gonna have to think about this one. But I also kind of want to go eat. Maybe we should save it for future me, but to that I say, it's okay, brain, I got this. Let's do it today. Okay. So I'm just going to adjust the little angles here. Align those and try to get it to be the right thickness. I think I might actually, once again, unset here. This is hair side main. Hair side main strand. Yes. Okay. So we'll see if I have to do any additional work there to get it to line up, or if I can just be lazy and have everything work out for me. I do hope it's the latter. I like it when that happens. And it happens a lot with the strands. It's part of what makes them so much fun. Nope. Okay. This one, the angle, it's all wrong at the top. Needs to be a little bit more like that. And then I think I want to stretch out the top of it here. And I felt like the angles on the bottom were a little bit off, so I want to go fix those too. I'm trying to pretend like I'm not at the end of the drawing session and just take my time. My brain wants me to rush. I'm having to really fight it though. I'm just like, it's cool, brain. We'll get to eat food, I promise. You are not starving. You had a snack right before stream. It's been an hour since you last ate something. Calm down. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And indeed, it looks like everything's just gonna work out for me. Huzzah. One more. Yep, and indeed, it is not connecting properly anymore. Let me see, do I like where the tip of it is? Mostly, but I think it'd be okay if I just moved the entire thing, just maybe 2 clicks down. And that'll make it a little bit easier for me to just attach it. There we go. Okay. I changed the angle on it a little bit too much there. So I just gotta pull all this up there. There we go. Alright, let's clean that up a little. Get it nice and smooth. Just like everything else. Today is a day of smoothness. Making everything nice and pretty. Okay, there's just something about her hair here that I'm not quite satisfied with, so go ahead and make a small adjustment there. Yeah, that's a bit better. Over there seems fine. And over here seems fine. Alright, got all the hair in place, so that means tomorrow, back hair. Oh boy. Back hair I definitely do not want to attempt today, because that's always an adventure. So I think I would like to start that one fresh. Go ahead and leave it off for now. And I think this is where I will end for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to create something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.